Hello, hello. Who wants to see Elise and Nicole lead worship next week? Well, welcome tonight. This is your first time. You get to hear 5 amazing communicators, and I get the honor of speaking to you tonight. So tonight we're talking about leading in faith. If you don't mind, I'm just going to have my phone with me. It's kind of my little cheat sheet here. And the one thing that I want to talk to you regarding faith is having the faith to fight for the things that God has for you. When we think of God, we can think of him as the ultimate peacemaker in life, which he is. He's a God of peace, he's a God of love, he's a God of hope. But I think with that, sometimes we can forget that God is a great initiator, warrior, and fighter. And that with that, sometimes he compels us to fight for the things that he has for us in life. Because he has such amazing things that he has for you and I to walk out this life to fulfill his plans and purposes. You see, without permission, sometimes situations will inevitably invade our lives. Opposition, challenges, discouragement, whatever it is maybe that you've come in here facing tonight. God knows your situation. And you know, it's crucial in those moments to find God and to allow his voice to dominate over any other voice in your world, over the lies of the enemy, even over the lies that maybe you're speaking over your own life that only you might know. And so it's in those moments that we have to arise in faith and to arrive at the conclusions of God's greatness in his power. He's a powerful God. There's no situation that's impossible for him to come and help in your life. In Deuteronomy and Numbers, we see the narration of the Israelites being made free from the Egyptian rule. And you know, they wandered in the desert for 40 years after they had been, under the rule of the Egyptians. And eventually they made it to the land that God had promised them, because God said, hey, I'm giving you a land. Moses, I want you to lead these people. Go take them to the land that I'm giving to you. So in Numbers, it recalls a powerful story that I'm always challenged by. And I want to go there right now. It's Numbers 14. And this is what it says. It says, this is after Moses had sent a few scouts to go check out the land. They had just come to the threshold of the promised land. And Moses said, okay, you 12 people, you go and you scout out the land and you tell me how it is, if it's truly the land that God has for us. Well, they came back and they were kind of a bit discouraged about it. They're like, there's no way we're going to be able to overcome, because there's other people living there, and they just felt like they couldn't overtake the land. There were only 2 people in that group that said, you know what, let's go take it. This is the land that God for sure has for us. Let's go take it. So that's where the story takes place in Numbers 14. It says, the whole community was in an uproar, wailing all night long. All the people of Israel grumbled against Moses and Aaron. The entire community was in on it. Why didn't we die in Egypt or in the wilderness? Why has God brought us to this country to kill us? Our wives and children are about to become plunder. And why don't we just head back to Egypt, and right now? Soon they were all saying it to one another, let's pick a new leader. Let's head back to Egypt. Moses and Aaron fell on their faces in front of the entire community gathered in the emergency session. Joshua and Caleb gathered the members of the Israelites and said, the land we walked through and scouted out is very good indeed. If God is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land that flows, as they say, with milk and honey, and he'll give it to us. Just don't rebel against God, and don't be afraid of those people. Why, we'll have them for lunch. Amen. You see, when the Israelites heard the response, they were ridden with fear and complaining. They were overcome by their earthly reality. They were so upset that they spent the night sulking and crying, and they wanted to go back to Egypt, a terrible place of bondage. You know, I think in life it's easy to find ourselves there, where situations can come and literally take the wind from your sails. I'm here to tell you that there is a God who cares about your life, who's gonna help you to overcome. Sometimes we need to reach deep within us and say, you know what, I'm gonna have the faith to fight in my life. God is with you, He's for you, He loves you, amen. Thank you.